You're no longer at the academy. The prince and the princess are different people from us. You can't be friends with them like you used to, and most importantly, you shouldn't trust them.
But still, saying you'll get rid of someone as if it's nothing. Is the Ashe in front of me the same Ashe I went to school with? Your Highness, I'm going to go wash my hands.
Do you want me to come with you? The toilet is on the second floor. What if you run into them again?
I'll be fine. I'll be back soon. Also, you seem quite busy.
I think he likes me. He keeps following me.
I thought you wanted a pushover.
He's definitely a pushover, but he's so boring. He keeps on whining about how his kingdom used to be powerful. But as magic declined and dark magic disappeared, they became weaker in power. Who wants to hear about blood, corpses and curses non-stop?
It's creepy. It's already been 6 years. For 6 years, I liked him from afar. For 6 years, I had to hide my feelings. Now that I'm allowed to get closer to him, why do I find myself drawing back from him? Was I just pretending to be the heroine of a tragic love story? I guess being a side piece runs in the family. My aunt was never into dressing up, so she was always in her lab coat wearing glasses. Being a side piece doesn't really sound like her. But then again, what do I know about her? I was raised by her, but I was too young at the time to actually get to know her. I didn't even know how creative and innovative she was until I looked at her research. What could have possibly happened for her to have such a bad reputation amongst the nobility? Is it just a fake rumor? Agonizing and doing nothing isn't like me. Maybe I should just go up to Duke Multon's daughter and ask her about it. I have nothing to lose, so why not? A knife? I'm sorry, Ashe. This guy, he's not an ordinary person. He knows how to fight. Thank God I noticed him coming at me, or else I need to go get help. It's locked. Did he?
I was playing nice, but this little brat...
Just get it done while she's out.
2 people?
Hold on tight. She's not like the other girls. If it was up to me, I would have slashed her wrist to get her arterial blood.
Killing her would get us in trouble. She's pretty, so what if we slashed her face instead?
We need more. We're running out of time.
What is happening? Why are they after me? Who hired these mercenaries? What should I do? I can't take both of them.
Who is it?
Caden?
Who sent you? Answer me! He must have been a magi. I guess Magus Moonlight is mercenaries for hire now.
Caden, you're bleeding! Are you okay?
Regan.
When did you...
I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad I made it in time.
You were late. The only reason I'm still alive is because I was able to stall them as the once rising star of the Office of Investigation. But still, that caught me by surprise. I've never been attacked by someone with the intent to kill. If Caden hadn't shown up at that moment, I thought you were on a business trip.
How did you know?
I heard from Prince Daniel. So, what are you doing here?
I found a small potion shop which I think has been dealing the magic amplification potion. The owner, Catherine, is Testy's cousin. Initially I planned on sneaking into the shop, but I saw her leaving all dressed up, so I started trailing her instead. And I ended up at the ball. I couldn't follow her into the bathroom, so I lost her, but that was when I saw you. Who knew something like this was happening to you?
I know, right? Since when did I become a person worthy of being attacked by strangers? Thank you, Caden, you saved me today. Just imagine what would have happened if my pretty face got slashed.
Don't be silly.
Hey, I might be a mess right now because I was busy trying to stay alive, but I looked gorgeous before. Didn't you see me before?
You look the same to me.
Huh?
You look the same in everything. Whether you wear your uniform or your lab coat, your pajamas, or a fancy dress, it all looks the same to me. So don't dress like this anymore. You're barely wearing anything. Just look at your shoulders.
Ashe, you liar. She told me that attending the royal ball was every girl's dream. A place for dressing up and having someone you like reach out his hand and the two of you dancing while feeling the gaze of others.
Isn't it?
The ball is a place where you get attacked by strangers, get covered in blood, and fear for your life. A place where your dress becomes a rag from fighting people.
But it's also a place where you get saved and hugged by your colleague.
So I guess it wasn't that bad after all.
Don't say that.
Huh? What? Don't say what?
Making a scene won't do us any good, so let's sneak out of here.
We need to clear up the situation, but how are we going to sneak out?
Hang on tight.
Are you out your mind?
It's simple magic. We trained a lot at the Office of Investigation. If you want, I can even take you to your house instead of the Office of Alchemy. That's connected to the palace.
That won't be necessary. Although there's a ball going on, we'll be noticed, so let's just leave through the back door. Anyways, that's a really neat magic trick. Maybe I should have gone to the Office of Investigation after all.
Don't tell anyone about it, though. Everything we learn in training is confidential. Where does that lead to?
It leads to Reuven's palace. This garden is a bit of a maze, so not a lot of people know about it.
Here, I'll help you out. It's a bummer. You had to leave the ball in less than an hour. You got all dressed up for it.
Haha, I know. It was actually pretty fun dressing up like a princess.
Honestly, I had no idea you'd go to the ball. Come to think of it, why did you?
What do you mean? What's wrong with me going?
No, it's just that usually the Royal Institute people don't attend them. Why did you dance with Daniel?
He offered to teach me how to dance.
That must have been nice.
Well, it was my first time learning how to dance. Free dancing lessons don't come around often. Of course, I picked up dancing really fast. It was a piece of cake. Do you want to try? Do you want me to teach you?
No thanks, I don't dance. I'd rather go for a run than spin around in circles with a girl. Also, what am I going to learn from someone with an injured leg?
Anyways, I've been thinking, and there's something strange. It would have been easier for them to just kill me, but they weren't trying to.
They wouldn't dare during a royal ball. If they had, things would have gotten noisy, and the Office of Investigation would have gotten involved as well. So the question is, why go through all that trouble to get to you?
That's the part I can't figure out, but guessing from their conversation and actions, it seemed like they were after my blood.
What?
Look at my wound, it's just a cut. They dropped a glass vial. It was full of my blood. I had a bad feeling about it, so I cracked it before I left. The guy was saying how if it was up to him, he would have slashed my wrist to get my arterial blood, and the other one talked about slashing my face. It seemed like it wasn't about killing me, but rather about getting my blood. They tried to knock me out, so they were obviously trying to be inconspicuous, but...
Where would they even use your blood?
I don't know. Human blood is definitely not used in alchemy.
There's only one person I can think of. We have no enemies other than the Queen. I don't like the fact that she knows of your existence.
I struck one of them in the face with my heels. If you happen to see one Queen's henchman with a scar on his face, it'll prove she was behind it.
From now on, just shout and cry out for help. Don't put yourself in danger by trying to solve the problem by yourself. Why do they want blood? That's creepy as hell.
Yeah, it is. Wait a minute, creepy? Where did I hear that word from?
He's definitely a pushover, but he's so boring. He keeps on whining about how his kingdom used to be powerful. But as magic declined and dark magic disappeared, they became weaker in power. Who wants to hear about blood, corpses, and curses nonstop? It's creepy.
Caden, I know. I know where human blood is used. In dark magic.
What are you talking about? Dark magic disappeared ages ago. Besides, it only existed in the Han's kingdom. There are no records of it existing in any other countries. The Han's kingdom being a desert country, where all sorts of curses developed due to frequent civil wars between its tribes.
Reuven's wife, she's from Hans, isn't she?
I'll look into her. Dark magic naturally disappeared with the decrease of magic in the continent. As a curse directed toward a specific target, dark magic requires complex ingredients and a tremendous amount of magic. With the possibility of Ruella and her magic amplification potion being involved, who am I to say dark magic isn't involved as well? But I don't know where to begin my research. We never covered dark magic in the academy.
About that, there's a person from Hans who's eager to talk about dark magic in the palace as we speak. I saw him at the ball, the one who was drooling over Princess Ashe the entire night. I should have become a detective. I'm wasting my talents working at the Office of Alchemy.
Get some sleep now. We'll talk about it again tomorrow. I'm going to make you work as soon as you open your eyes tomorrow morning.
What work?
Catherine's potion shop. She's up to something. She's getting suspicious deliveries, and a lot of people have been going in and out these days.
Alright, if you give me the list of the deliveries, I'll look into it tomorrow.
I have a bad feeling about this. The Queen is probably after Daniel now. He's the only one left. I think we've had enough mysterious deaths.
Don't worry too much. I'll take a look at the list carefully tomorrow. I've also already looked into the distribution channels as Prince Daniel asked me to. When are you going home, by the way? Caden, I'll be fine alone.
I can't be here every day to guard you, so whenever I can, I will. But, except for me, you really shouldn't let any other guys in. Guys like me are very rare. Anyways, I'm not leaving you here alone tonight.
As you wish. Protect me, detective. Why are you following me into the bedroom? You're sleeping in the living room.
I'll leave once you fall asleep.
Honestly, I'm relieved Caden stayed. I was attacked and injured. I'm human after all, so of course I'm not okay. I just didn't want to seem like a whiner, so I've been pretending like it didn't get to me.
Are you sleeping?
No, why?
Wasn't it hard liking Daniel?
What are you talking about?
Liking someone who doesn't like you back from afar. Wasn't it hard?
Well, technically he and I were quite close. We talked a lot as well.
That's not what I meant, stupid.
It was okay.
How?
It wasn't all that bad. It made school so much more exciting and enjoyable. On days I got to talk to him, I would be happy for the rest of the day, and whenever I got bored in class, I would pass the time by looking at him. I knew he'd marry someone else, but it's not a crime to like someone. Of course, there were bad days, but there were more happier ones, so it was fine.
Even though you knew he'd end up with someone else?
What are you trying to say? I'm so tired. So many things happened today. Will I be seeing Caden in my dreams tonight? I don't hate it anymore.
Why can't I be okay like you?
The ball? No, I'm in Kaiden's dream.
I know it's lame, but do you want to dance?
That's strange. When I was dancing with Daniel, I was so nervous I couldn't even hear the music, but dancing with Caden, even though I'm getting the steps all wrong, I'm having so much fun. Now be honest with me, were you secretly jealous of Daniel getting to dance with all those girls?
Of course not.
Not at all? Not even a bit?
Maybe once. It was dreadful watching her dance with him.
Her? Was the girl he talked about last time at the ball? You like someone, don't you?
What are you talking about?
Did he just avoid answering? Honestly, I'm dying to know who Caden likes. Maybe if I ask him to describe his dream girl, I might get a clue of who she is. So in your standard, who would be an example of someone who's stupid?
Everyone is stupid compared to me.
Well, that didn't answer my question. Okay then. Do you like someone who's bright and cheery, or someone who's kind of emo and dark? He probably likes bright and cheery girls.
I think bright and cheery girls live on another planet. That's actually why I wasn't quite interested in you back in the academy.
Not interested? What the hell? What was all that hugging and kissing about then?
Hey! What's wrong?
Do this with me only as well.
Huh?
Kiss me only. Don't kiss anyone else. I thought we were going to Prince Daniel's palace.
We are. Daniel is probably being watched. The Queen has eyes everywhere, so we have to use passages like this.
What is this passage?
The palace basement is a labyrinth of secret passages like this. It's a strictly need-to-know basis. Each secret passage is known only to the owner of each palace. Daniel even keeps it a secret from Ashay, but he personally showed me the way around here.
That means...
If I decide to kill him using this passage, no one can stop me. Daniel basically entrusted me with his life. Royalties usually never tell others about their secret passages. I won't make him regret his decision.
Is it okay for you to tell me about this passage then?
I know you can't remember all of this.
You douchebag.
So don't ever come here alone. If you get lost in here, you might actually starve yourself to death without anyone knowing.
I don't even remember where the entrance is.
That's enough for now, so why don't you go take a break?
Yes, Your Highness. Hope you get some rest as well.
Caden, you're here. Regan, I didn't know you were coming as well. This way, milady.
Your Highness, you must be mistaking me as a nobility just because I went to the ball once. Or maybe you've said it too many times last night. It's become a habit.
You were the prettiest out of all the noble girls there last night. I mean it. Where did you go, by the way? I was looking for you the entire night.
We're actually here about that. She was attacked last night.
I was attacked by masked mercenaries yesterday. It seemed like they were just trying to get my blood rather than killing me.
Blood? Why?
So, where to begin?
Okay, so if that's the case, there are two incidents we need to unravel. The fire 6 years ago and Prince William's assassination.
First of all, starting a fire that big would have required a lot of magis, unless the magic amplification potion was involved. And if the side effect of the magic amplification potion the magis took was death by a reflux of magic, it would explain why so many magis died due to that. If I just had more magic available to me, I'd be able to create a bigger flame than this. So if I were a magi and I heard about a magic amplification potion, I'd be tempted as well. But there is only one person in the entire world capable of creating such potion, Ruella Hagart.
I don't believe this. Ruella would never.
The truth died with her, but I agree with you that she's not the type of person who would do such thing. So that got me questioning whether all of this had something to do with my aunt's insanity and death. But one thing for sure is that she was definitely involved. Next, Prince William's assassination. We haven't found any concrete evidence yet, but because there's only one person who so blatantly benefits from his death, the only plausible explanation is that the Queen was behind it. However, we have no idea how she actually killed him. We just assumed his death was drug-induced because of the positive drug test, but there's actually a type of curse we hadn't considered.
A curse?
You'll never guess. We couldn't as well at first, but there's a curse which requires human blood. Dark magic.
No way, that's impossible. How could dark magic be used in Amitan when it even disappeared from the Han's kingdom, the only place known to have used it?
The reason why dark magic disappeared is inherent because magic itself is disappearing in the world. However, it would be a different story if a magic amplification potion did in fact exist, and the Queen might be able to get her hands on the complex ingredients needed for it. Most importantly, isn't Reuven's wife from the Han's kingdom?
When Reuven brought Naram back from Han's, we were all very surprised. We all knew Reuven was after the throne, so we expected him to marry someone from a stronger country. But he brought back a girl he had just randomly met during his trip to the Han's kingdom. Since she was a foreigner, and he wasn't violating any rules, so no one said anything. Testy, who everyone expected to object, didn't say anything. Something is not right. I don't know why they need Regan's blood, but they might be preparing for another curse. Since I know nothing about dark magic, I don't even know where to begin.
A prince from the Han's kingdom called Jihan came to the ball. If we kidnap him and give him some pats on the back, he'll start talking.
Are you serious? Think of another way that doesn't involve the Office of Foreign Affairs getting mad at us.
The gray-haired one? The one who was drooling all over Ashay? That's easy. From what I know, he's still in Amatan. I'll invite him over to the palace, telling him I want to discuss Ashay's marriage. Then, I'll get him to start talking about dark magic. Regan, can you join? If I were Jihan and a gorgeous lady like you showed interest, I think I'd end up telling you everything.
Of course, you can tell him I'm here as Ashay's best friend.
Why bother doing all that? I told you I'd take care of it.
You have other things to do. Go keep an eye on Catherine. I think she sold the magic amplification potions to the Magus in her potion shop.
I think you're right. I checked the Office of Alchemy records this morning. The ingredients went through multiple distribution channels, but ultimately, all of them ended up in Catherine's potion shop. So I think she's definitely sold magic amplification potions to the Magus in her shop. In fact, it seems like she's gathering the same ingredients as the ones she ordered 6 years ago. She's been ordering significantly more than usual.
Is that so?
Yes, I'm not absolutely sure, but it seems like there's going to be a reenactment of the fire 6 years ago. Your Highness, there's only one person left on the Queen's hit list.
Are you worried about me?
Of course I am. You need to live long. I'd really appreciate it if you became the king and increased the Office of Alchemy's budget. Also, throw your weight behind Caden. I want him to become the director of the Office of Investigation by his 30s.
Regan, why don't you go say hi to Ashay while you're here? Only Ashay and I know about this passage, so the Queen won't find out. Go straight through the garden and you'll see a secret door to Ashay's palace. If you knock twice, Ashay will let you in.
Why are there so many secret passages?
There are so many more. Royalties are constantly exposed to all sorts of danger. We're educated to kill our siblings when necessary like it's nothing. Just look at the Queen. She's obviously trying to kill me.
I hate to admit it, but I kind of see where Saphael was coming from. This is the royal life. Thank you for your consideration, Your Highness. I'll get going then.
Of course, have fun with Ashay. It definitely feels different when Regan's here.
What do you mean?
You don't talk or laugh much, so you're boring, but Regan always gives off a positive vibe. Also, isn't it amazing how she manages to be cheerful even after what she's been through?
She didn't seem so cheerful to me.
Really? I always thought of her as a positive and energetic person. She's also very hardworking. Didn't you see her explaining earlier? No wonder she was your rival. She's smart as a whip and cheery at the same time.
Is that so?
From what I remember, she didn't really talk much in front of me back in the academy, but ever since she started working, she's just been different. After only seeing coy, noble girls who overthink everything I say, seeing bright and cheery regions somehow makes me feel better. Anyways, you must have been at the ball because of Catherine. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come. Wasn't it terrible? Knowing you, you would have hated everything about it.
It was okay.
You look like you're in a good mood. Did something happen?
No. It's just that last night, I had a pleasant dream.
Smiling over a dream? That's not like you. You must be tired.
Something happened in that dream and I can't get it out of my head.
I'm sorry I ruined your dress.
I don't care what happened to that stupid dress. I'm just glad you're okay. Anyway, that's so weird. Why were they after you? Besides blood? What for? Are you sure you're not mistaken? It just doesn't make sense at all.
Should I tell her about dark magic? She's already been accused of murdering her brother, and she's probably stressing over who she'll marry. I don't want to tell her that the queen is planning something at the moment and that her target is probably Daniel this time. Ashe already has too much going on in her life.
Anyways, Daniel told you about this passage? Regan, Daniel doesn't just go around telling people about our secret passage. This means he trusts you a lot.
I guess so.
I think trusting someone could mean a lot of things like perhaps love. So him telling you about our secret passage means you're really special to him. Even more than him smiling at you and being nice to you.
I think that's just because we're in the same boat now.
Gosh, this is so frustrating. Regan, have a little more faith. You're the only person who danced 3 times with him at the ball. Because everyone saw the way he was looking at you. That's why that Muleton bitch felt threatened by you. Moreover, Daniel asked me where you were last night. Regan, this is big. I don't know what Daniel's thinking exactly, but I know for a fact that you're really special to him. So can't you be a bit more thrilled about it?
Your Highness, I should be, but I'm not at all.
Huh?
I was definitely madly in love with him, since the moment I saw him at the Royal Academy entrance ceremony. I liked him to the point where I would write down every little conversation I had with him in my diary. Just looking at him from afar made my heart flutter. And don't get me wrong, he's by far the most handsome person I know, but even when we were dancing together and he was smiling at me and calling me beautiful, my heart just didn't flutter at all. I still think he's handsome, but that's it. I honestly don't know why, but...
Regan, maybe it's because too much happened all at once. Maybe you're distancing yourself from Daniel because of the possibility of him becoming a king. Or maybe you're just temporarily taken aback by the love of your life reciprocating. How can you stop liking someone that easily? I think it also has to do with you being attacked. You probably just don't have the energy to care about Daniel right now.
Maybe you're right. I actually think my aunt is involved. I think that's why people are after me, because I can't think of any other reason. The only special thing about me is that I'm Ruella Hagart's niece.
What are you talking about?
It's all just an hypothesis at the moment, but I can't help but feel like she was sacrificed as part of the Queen's scheme. At this point, I don't think my aunt went crazy because she was researching too much, or that she died naturally.
No, that can't be true. I'm going to make her pay. I'm going to make sure of it. I feel like beating the Queen to death right now if possible. Regan, I never told you this, but Ruella took care of me more than my mom did. As you know, my mom is a foreigner from a powerless country. And on top of that, Father didn't love her, so she barely leaves her palace. She's been living like a prisoner. She couldn't even attend the ball yesterday because she's scared of Testy. My mom cried herself to sleep and lived every day in fear. There was nothing she could do about it. No one was on her side, except for me. I don't think I ever felt protected by my mom. On the other hand, Ruella, she dragged me out of the small world I was trapped in, and she was the one who understood my fears better than anyone else. I started studying herbology because of her, and I was devastated when I found out royalty couldn't work at the Office of Alchemy. But even then, she was there to comfort me.
It's the first time I'm hearing Ashe talk about her.
If Ruella didn't die peacefully in her sleep, I'm going to kill everyone, and then kill myself. What's the point in being alive when I can't do anything to protect the people I love?
Don't say that, Your Highness. My aunt wouldn't want that.
Regan, how can you be so calm? Aren't you furious?
I can't, Your Highness. I just want to let myself go and let the anger consume me, but I can't. Instead, all I can do is think harder, analyze the events more objectively, and get myself together to do what needs to be done. Letting go of myself, it's something I can probably only do in my dreams.
Oh my, marriage with Princess Ashe? But I thought we already agreed on it before the late king passed away.
With the marriage proposal from the emperor, things got complicated. I personally believe a promise should never be broken, and that's where I had a disagreement with William. Since it's officially the period of doubt, we'd have to wait until everything is over to bring up Ashe's marriage, but if I do become the king, why don't I make sure it happens?
Prince Daniel is baiting him without blinking an eye.
That would be great. Actually, I think the Amatan Kingdom women are beautiful, especially since there aren't people with blonde hair in the desert. When I first saw Princess Ashe, I thought she was drop-dead gorgeous. I don't know much about Amatan's internal affairs, but I would really appreciate your help.
Ashe likes confident guys, but he's so nervous and anxious. Prince Jihan, I'm Ashe's best friend. Remember me from the ball?
Ah, yes, nice to meet you.
Of course, I'm really happy Ashe's getting married to a great guy, but wouldn't you like it more if she actually fell in love with you?
Of course. She's so beautiful, so I'm pretty sure she has other suitors lining up for her.
Exactly my point. I mean, Han's kingdom is a small country, and, you know, there could be another marriage proposal from the emperor.
That's all because magic is disappearing in this world. Oops.
Gotcha.
Are you talking about dark magic? Wasn't the Han's kingdom the most prosperous when there was dark magic? Rumor has it, even the Empire couldn't push you around.
Dark magic? What's so great about it?
I heard you could even kill people with it.
My goodness, how scary. You can kill people that easily? That's terrible.
Well, it's not as easy as it sounds. If that was the case, everyone in Han's would have been dead by now. Death curses are very difficult and demanding. Dark magic was commonly used to increase the odds of bad luck, or something more simple, like causing a simple headache. Well, no one but us care about it anymore.
Why wouldn't people be interested in such a fascinating topic?
It's a thing of the past. Dark magic requires a lot of magic. In the old days, Hans's dark magic was treated as a great secret. The Hans people would come up with all sorts of ideas to hide it from foreigners. But now, if you ask children on the streets, they'll tell you all about it. It's just that no one cares anymore.
Even the children in Hans know how to use dark magic?
Before, only a small number of people knew about it, but since it's no longer a secret, it's been disclosed to the public. In fact, it's a part of our governance. It's a way of remembering the time Hans was untouchable. Since we can't cast curses anymore, we just use it for national unity and tourism. But one day, when the day magic is restored comes, you just watch and see, because theoretically everyone in Hans know how to use dark magic.
That's terrifying. That means anyone can kill me.
I told you, killing someone is not as easy as it sounds. It's actually really hard. You need a lot of magic and the ingredients are very complex and hard to get. Also, there's a time limit, and it requires ingredients that even the caster is unaware of.
What kind of ingredients? Blood? Maybe?
Well, all dark magic curses require human blood.
I see. Then, what more do you need than blood to kill people?
Normal citizens won't even be able to get these ingredients. And worst of all, it's not just anyone's blood. It's blood from the lover of the curse's target. The severity of the curse depends on how much they're in love with each other. If either one has no feelings towards the other, the curse completely fails, and if they're not serious about each other, the cursed person will probably just lose a leg or something. If they're madly in love with each other, you can even cause a natural death without leaving any evidence. Isn't that absurd, though? How will the caster know who's in love with who and get the blood from the right person? Human emotions are so complicated. No matter how many times you write down the name of the person you want to kill, if you get the blood from the wrong person, it'll be completely useless.
At this point, Daniel is the queen's only target. Then, under the assumption, she's preparing for a curse to kill Daniel. It becomes clear that she was trying to get Regan's blood as an ingredient. This means that the queen thinks Regan and Daniel are in love with each other.
Blood of Daniel's lover? My blood?
It's kind of complicated, but it's actually a chain of curses. You can only cast it once every 5 years. That's because when a person dies from that curse, their 5-year-old remains become an ingredient for the successive death curse. After 5 years, the magic in the remains starts fading, so there's a very inconvenient time limit of 5 years.
That doesn't make sense. Then who's the very first cursed person? If you need the remains from a previous curse, how do you cast the initial curse?
That's why I keep telling you it's impossible. To cast the initial curse, you need to gather over 100 people in one place and kill them all at once. You need soil from the land where more than 100 people died in the same instance. Also, the soil from that specific area is only effective for one single curse. Killing 100 people just to kill one person. A long time ago, when there were a lot of wars in the desert, it was easy to get such soil. There are ancient records of it. Of course, magic was also abundant then, but because of the peace treaty with the Empire, there are no more wars. So unless a fire broke out in a social event like the ball last night, how could you possibly kill 100 people all at once?
So if we put together everything we've learned, Naram is the one using dark magic for Reuven. Since even the children in the Hans kingdom know how to use it, Naram probably knows as well. The royal villa fire 6 years ago was probably for the initial curse, since more than 100 people died that day. It's also very likely Ruella's magic amplification potion was used. We have two possibilities. Either she kept the soil until now and killed William, or she killed someone else 5 years ago and then killed William.
But Your Highness, things don't add up either way. Prince William passed away only a month ago, so how can she possibly kill Prince Daniel right after Prince William's death? There hasn't been an incident where over 100 people died recently.
That's true. There must be something we're missing or something we've assumed incorrectly. Caden, are you sure they're planning another dark magic curse?
The ingredients that Hans Prince listed are all gathering up in Catherine's potion shop. Also, why else would they be after Regan's blood? When you hit a wall, you just have to research more. I'll excuse myself. I want to go back to that store.
Caden, I'll come.
You'll just slow me down. It's faster alone.
Anyone would be shocked to find out their parents were sacrificed for dark magic.
I guess so.
It just means he wants to be alone right now. Regan, do you like me? Testy, why would she try to get your blood?
Oh, Ashe told me I was the only one who danced with you 3 times.
That's true.
Aha, maybe that's why. The queen must have taken it the wrong way. You were just trying to teach me how to dance.
Maybe we should just give her your blood. The curse apparently doesn't work if one person has no feelings for the other.
I guess so.
I'm joking.
A joke. Haha. Normally I would have changed the topic, but that was so unexpected I don't know what to say.
Regan, be careful.
Pardon?
She's after me and I can take care of myself, but actually, there wouldn't even be a problem if I didn't like you. One can hide their emotions but not get rid of them.
Your Highness.
I don't want to tell you to not like me. There is a way to prevent it, but you end up not wanting that.
Your Highness, I'm going to get going as well. I have so much to research. I'm actually busy all the time.
I'm worried about your safety. As I said before, if they get your blood, I might die. I'll get you bodyguards. They'll be inconspicuous so you won't even notice them, but just know that you're always protected.
Well, Caden told me he'd try to be with me as much as possible.
He's too busy. He can't be by your side all the time. I'll let him know he doesn't have to worry about you.
Right.
Also, my men are looking hard for the person with a high heel mark on his face. I kind of already know who's behind it, but I want hard evidence. I'm going to reveal everything at the final trial.
Look at you with all your men. I thought you only had Caden.
I'm going to be a king now, so I've got to get used to bossing people around. Also, I may be a ladies' man, but Testy is a lot to deal with.
Make sure you rise to the throne so none of your men become unemployed. Got it? Also, Caden and I are both counting on you as well.
If I become the king, things will get tougher. But even then, can you stay by my side being bright and cheery like now? Whenever I get fed up with life, can you be my solace? Your witty comments are all I'm asking for.
Well, although Professor Saphael won't be too pleased, you can always drop by the Office of Alchemy for that.
No, here, in my palace.
Your Highness,
I'm not going to propose now because I might die. Sorry for the rush. Forget I said anything for now, but after a month, when the period of doubt is over, we'll talk again. I couldn't help it today. Be careful with your blood. If they get some, I might die. I mean it. I really don't want to die now.
Stop talking nonsense, Your Highness. You're not going to die.
Why am I acting like an oblivious child right now? I'm apparently being cursed and I might die anytime soon, but my heart is fluttering.
Because of Daniel's guards, Caden stopped coming by at night. It's actually kind of upsetting that he hasn't even asked me how I'm doing. I was hoping I'd see him in my dreams, but I guess he's not sleeping well because I haven't seen him recently. Well, thanks to that, I've been staying up late at the office, and I've actually made quite a bit of progress with the antidote research. I haven't seen Caden in a while. If I stop dreaming about him on top of that, will we become strangers?
Regan, aren't you going home?
I still have work to do.
You'll end up going through all of Ruella's research at this rate.
Isn't that why you recruited me?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I didn't.
Once my professor and now my boss, Saphael. She always plays by the book and is very principled, but Other than that, she's always been an affectionate person, and she was a very close colleague of my aunt. When my aunt died, Raphael jumped up and down saying her death didn't make sense. Come to think of it, Aunt was a person loved by many.
But why did you suddenly change your mind? I thought you said you'd never come here.
By the time I was graduating, I felt like following my aunt's footsteps. I've already improved so much.
That sounds suspicious, but I'll let it slide. Anyways, it's good to see you working hard at the Office of Alchemy.
My aunt probably researched day and night, didn't she?
Yeah. I think she genuinely loved researching. Right, and raising you. I remember her studying all of the parenting books. Other than that, alchemy was all she thought about.
Director.
Yeah?
I actually heard something strange. Someone called me a royal side piece.
Who said that? What are you talking about?
And that I apparently took after my aunt. Director, you know something about this, don't you? What happened?
I don't know. It's all nonsense.
Professor, it's really important to me. You know exactly why I studied hard and why I still went to school the day after her death.
I don't know anything about it.
Did you think it was all because I was okay? I was just trying my best to live my life the way my aunt taught me to.
Make sure you go home soon. You have work tomorrow.
Aunt, didn't you tell me to call you my aunt? That Ruella's niece is also your niece as well? You even promised me a bag if I got admitted to the Royal Academy. I still have that backpack at home.